Britain tests its new nuclear-powered submarine, HMS Agamemnon, while a Russian floating bomb limps through the channel, leaking fuel and raising fears of disaster. NATO watches every move. As Europe braces, the question looms: is this just a technical failure or a warning from Moscow? As Europe grapples with the rising Russian threat, the UK's Royal Navy achieved a major milestone. The Royal Navy's newest nuclear-powered attack submarine, HMS Agamemnon, has successfully submerged for the first time during trials at BAE Systems Barrow-in-Furness shipyard, according to the company. The 3-day trim dive in Devonshire Dock tested the 7,400-ton vessel's stability, buoyancy and watertight integrity ahead of its departure from Barrow to join the Royal Navy's fleet at His Majesty's Naval Base Clyde. The milestone follows the recent commissioning of the submarine by King Charles III. Pete Tumulty, astute program director at BAE Systems Submarines business, called the success the culmination of months of hard work and thanked his team. Meanwhile, Commander David Bing Crosby, HMS Agamemnon's commanding officer, said,
"The trim and basin dive is a key step in the commissioning of HMS Agamemnon. This period enables us to set the boat's internal weight, prove her watertight integrity, test sensors, and put some of our systems through their paces ahead of sailing for the first time. It takes a great deal of planning and preparation to achieve this key step, and all involved should be very proud of the part they have played."
BAE Systems noted that design work is continuing on the future AUKUS-class submarines, developed in partnership with the United States and Australia. The company's submarine workforce has grown from 10,700 in 2023 to 15,000 today, with projections of reaching 17,000 in the coming years. Meanwhile, Putin's submarine branded a potential floating bomb is creeping home through the English Channel under the close watch of NATO warships. The limping sub's sighting near the UK comes after reports it risked exploding in the Mediterranean. The 243 feet diesel-electric attack sub-Novorossiysk is part of Putin's Black Sea Fleet and potentially capable of carrying nuclear weapons. It has been forced to travel on the surface, escorted by a Russian tugboat after suffering serious technical failures on a mission in the Med. According to Russian telegram channel VCHK OGPU, the vessel has fuel leaking directly into its hold, creating an explosive hazard and leaving the crew scrambling to contain the danger. The channel, which has links to intelligence sources, reported,
"There are no spare parts for repairs or qualified specialists on the submarine, and the crew is unable to fix the malfunctions. Other problems have begun to occur due to the serious accident. The fuel accumulated in the hold is an explosive hazard."
The alarming reports suggest the crew has no option but to pump the fuel overboard directly into the sea. French, British, Belgian and Dutch warships tracked it past Brittany, through the Channel and into the North Sea.
We are watching Atlantic Ocean. A French Navy frigate conducts surveillance of the Alliance's maritime approaches, marking the presence of a Russian submarine operating on the surface off the coast of Brittany. NATO stands ready to defend our alliance with constant vigilance and maritime awareness across the Atlantic.
The Netherlands took over escort duties from Britain, deploying Navy vessel Zustermis Looms, an NH-90 combat helicopter, and Coast Guard ships. A Dutch defense spokesperson said,
"The Netherlands shows vigilance and prevents Russian ships from sabotaging undersea infrastructure."
Earlier, a French frigate and Belgian patrol vessel BNS Castor had shadowed the sub. And a US Navy patrol plane had tracked it for days off Gibraltar as it began its slow return to Russia. The Novorossiysk is now believed to be heading for a Baltic seaport, still dogged by the problems first reported in the Med. The NATO surveillance comes after a Vladimir Putin ally warned the West that they should crap themselves over the potential of World War III. Meanwhile, NATO nation Latvia told 841 Russians to leave the country over security fears. However, despite the growing fears, Moscow has denied any malfunction and emergency surfacing, though it stopped short of ruling out technical problems. On October 12, state media published a statement from Russia's Black Sea Fleet denying that the Novorossiysk had surfaced off France because of a technical emergency. It said that the submarine was carrying out a scheduled transit after completing tasks in the Mediterranean Sea and had surfaced in line with international navigation rules in the English Channel. Also, the Black Sea Fleet insisted the Novorossiysk is on a scheduled interfleet transit and that submarines pass through the Strait of Dover exclusively on the surface under navigation rules. The stricken 3,100-tonne Varshavyanka-class sub has been closely tailed by NATO navies as it limps north. State news agency TASS said the vessel, which entered service in 2014, was part of a group of submarines that carry Caliber cruise missiles. It is noteworthy that the fears over the Novorossiysk sub are a chilling echo of one of Russia's darkest naval disasters, the sinking of the Kursk submarine in 2000. On August 12, 2000, the Oscar II-class sub exploded and sank in the Barents Sea during Russia's first major naval exercise in over a decade. A leak of hydrogen peroxide inside a Type 65 76A torpedo triggered a deadly blast in the forward torpedo room. Moments later, a second, far more powerful explosion ripped the vessel apart and sent it plunging to the seabed. All 118 crew members were killed. The catastrophe, and Moscow's slow, chaotic response, shocked the world and remains a searing reminder of the risks lurking aboard Russia's submarines.